What's up, everyone? Welcome to Evil PC Gaming. Today we're going to be taking a look at Dirt Rally, just released out on Steam December 7th. The time of the video, it was still 15% off for about $43 originally, $49.99. So who knows if this will hit the Steam Winter Sale? I doubt it, since it just released. Anyway, as you can see, got some off-road racing in the rally cars. From what I played so far, I played it, I don't know, maybe about 45 minutes or so before making the video, so I'm still getting the hang of it. So disclaimer, I am not a professional at this game. You will see me wreck and take turns like that horribly. So anyway, let's go over some of the information about the game. Now, right away, the first thing that I noticed, it has a lot of cars in it. But it has 39 rally cars, and they are brand name cars. I mean, they're iconic, relevant cars from back in the day. Like this race here, I think was 1969 or something like that, hence the old car. All the way up through the modern day stuff. I saw licensing for Ford. I believe Subaru was in there also. Of course, I couldn't afford the car since I just started the career. It also has 6 massive rallies over 70 stages. So far from what I've seen, it's kind of crazy. I mean, there's parts here where you're kind of like out in the country roads, and then all of a sudden you're down into the forest. When I very first started, they put me on some dirt road that just, yeah, the wrong move. You went over the cliff and went rolling down the hill, and then had to get your car recovered, and of course you get penalized for that. It also takes place over many countries. I mean, you got Wales, Greece. I saw an option for racing in North America. It also has official rallycross content. You can race at Lydden Hill. Oh man, I can't recall all the name of the tracks and everything. Also, you can upgrade the car. Sometimes you have to repair it in between the different legs of the race. It seems like so far from what I've seen, each race is broken down into 4 legs. I don't know too much about rally car racing in real life. I don't watch it. Though if I do catch it on television, I will watch because, let's be honest, they usually have some great wrecks on there. And usually you get your idiot standing right there at a hairpin turn, right up against the yellow tape, and then you see them all get plowed over like a set of bowling ball pins. You can also tune the car. I'll show you a little bit of that later. I mean, it wasn't very, very extensive. But then again, when it comes to dirt rally racing, I don't know exactly how many settings should be in the car. I'm guessing it would be just like a road track kind of car. Caster and camber and suspension, brake bias, gear ratios, and so on. What else do they have? Oh, I was in another race. I wound up getting a flat tire while I was racing. And my spotter that you hear there in the background, he's calling out where the turns are and how far. And honestly, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. I started to get the hang of it. Like that whole 6 thing. I knew when I heard like a right 6 long, it wasn't a very sharp turn. I could keep the pedal down. But yeah, it was pretty neat getting a flat tire in the middle of the race. And then he was saying, hey, we're losing the right rear tire. It seems flat. And as I'm racing along, the handling really got affected. I was having a really hard time keeping it on the road. And he wound up saying that we lost the tire, and you could hear the metal rim kind of grinding into the gravel. So it was a very nice effect. I was happy to see damage during the race. Now, the damage model isn't exactly, realistic. I mean, like that right there. I mean, I really smacked that fucking car. Honestly, I should have been done. I mean, the hood should have been crinkled up to the windshield, engine done, leaking radiator fluid all over the road, out of the race. But due to the challenge of zipping through these roads like this, it's it's good that it didn't do that. Because honestly, I probably wouldn't have made it more than 10 minutes into the game before I rage quit. And of course, there might be a setting in there. I didn't really go in there and mess too much with the settings. I like to take a game out of the box and see how they have it set up. I had to set up my wheel because it was made for like turning, was I don't know, common period or whatever. So I had to tell it, hey, I want the wheel, I want my pedals. It wasn't a real easy setup like I have a Logitech G27. Click, everything's set. Didn't have you don't have use of the manual gearbox. You don't have use of the 6-speed shifter. You do use paddle shifts. You do use the clutch though, and you do have to assign something to an emergency brake if you choose to not have the auto emergency brake on. So what I did, if you guys saw my my setup video, my X55 joystick sits off to my right, a little bit on the lower side, you know, for flight and so on. So what I did is I pulled that out and I assigned that to my emergency brake, so that way I had an access to use. So it wasn't full on or full off. I could control my e-brake a little bit, and I noticed it definitely helped me, because at first it started off with a button on the wheel, and as I'm cranking through the turns and yanking the wheel around, I couldn't keep my finger on the button or hit it exactly when I wanted to. Sometimes you have a hard enough time getting to the paddle shifters, you know, when the wheels turned at 110 degrees to the right. So it was a nice addition to be able to add my my joystick, my X55 joystick, as the emergency brake, and it really didn't take any tweaking. I didn't have to set dead zones, so I just pulled it back to simulate that. It assigned it. That was it. Also on the game, you can do team management. You can hire and fire your crew members, and each crew member has different skills, improving repair times for different parts of the car. You can teach them new skills, and as they gain experience, to work together as a team and improve your performance in the events. So I thought that was pretty neat. Also, usually your racing games, just you have a crew chief and a pit crew. It's automated. They're all professional. There's no training, no worrying about it. Some may like that, some may not. But it gives you, I guess, a little bit of an aspect of actually managing your racing career from within also, not just being the driver behind the wheel. Another thing that the Steam page mentioned was there was RaceNet League support. So you can get together with your friends and run your very own racing league. You can join or create unlimited leagues and run them however you want. So that's pretty neat too. You know, I'm a member over at iRacing. If you want to start a private league, you have to, it's a small fee, I think it's $10 for a year or whatever, but you have to pay to open a league. You don't have to pay to open up a team, but to open up a league. And then if you're going to host racing and so forth, you have to pay $1 or $2 for a couple hours worth of hosting. So to have those kind of features built in, that I think is a big plus. I've not tried it out multiplayer yet to see how it plays, but I'm sure, so far from the performance of the game, I'm sure the performance of multiplayer, I'm pretty confident, will perform great. During the game, the whole entire time, I was getting a minimum 75 frames per second. And then, of course, also they have daily, weekly, and monthly RaceNet challenges. It's pretty much you versus the entire dirt community in a series of one-day, week-long, and month-long challenges to earn in-game credits to improve your car and team. So that's pretty neat too, that they give you kind of like little bonus things to go out and do. So all in all, I think the game was very fun, very entertaining. I didn't advance too far in the career. This was my second race. Like I said, each race was divided into 4 legs. It takes you about 5-6 minutes to get through them roughly. Well, at least it did me. I mean, I did spend time wrecking and having to recover the car. Oh yeah, I think if you're a racing fan, especially if you like the rally cars, I definitely think you should pick this up. Maybe wait for sale, that's up to you. I don't control your wallet. But yeah, it's pretty damn good. One other thing I forgot to mention also, it does have different times of day. You do have control of, your windshield wiper blades. You can set that on automatic if you don't want to worry about it. I didn't. I like simulation. I'll take my windshield wiper blades when I want my windshield wiper blades. You have headlights in here, so I'm guessing, and I have seen night rally racing, so I'm guessing it has some nighttime rally races. So far, all I experienced was like a bright afternoon like this, or maybe a little bit of cloud cover, and sunset times, which can really affect your perception of the track, especially when you're back there in the forest. and the light's coming all through the trees, and you're trying to pay attention to the, you know, to the turns and the bumps and to your spotter. The spotter job does a pretty good job. I definitely would not see half these turns coming up if it wasn't for it. You can even adjust your spotter if he's not spotting quick enough, or if he's too quick. You can adjust all that kind of stuff there. So let's move on and take a look at the setup of the car. Now, of course, what you see here, you can set your brake bias, you can set your differential, front at least. You can change the gears, whether long or short, to keep everything simple. You can change your suspension, front and rear settings, firm or soft, damping for the front and rear, and that's about it. And also, it looks like it supports Steam Workshop setups, so that's pretty neat too. You know, as a community, you can share everything. So as you go into the repairs, again, nice and simple. You kind of look at the damage amount. You mark how long or how much you want to fix. It gives you, you know, how long it's going to take, and depending on what you choose, you can face a penalty before the race. Like if that stopwatch gets over into the red, another race I had to do that. I got into the red and I got penalized. I don't know, it was like minute and a half or 2.5 minutes or something like that. I guess it went over before the next race start. So nice and simple, not overwhelming. Anyone new to a racing game or doesn't know much about cars, can definitely hop in there. You don't have the number game like you get in iRacing, or maybe a set of course or project cars and stuff like that. When you really dive deep into those setups, it can be very overwhelming, and you can totally screw your car up by adjusting just one setting, a few notches, and you're done. Now, as far as the force feedback goes in the game, it seemed to be fair, I guess you could say, out of the box. It was set to 100%. I could feel it. It wasn't overwhelming. It wasn't trying to rip the wheel out of my hand. I could feel the sliding of the front wheels, you know, in the steering wheel, based on the type of gravel that I was stuck in. You know, I could feel those wheels slide and physically see the car push. So it did a good job of letting the feeling of the car translate through the force feedback. Again, you could probably get it a little bit better by sitting there tweaking stuff around, and I believe it also had the option to join the Steam Workshop and download people's force feedback settings. So they covered pretty much every aspect of the game. If you don't know what you're doing, you know, with any aspect of it, you should be able to go onto the Steam Workshop and find something on there automatically and make it simple for you. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the review. Again, I think it's worth picking up if you're into it. Other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and let this run out for a few more minutes and let you watch some racing uninterrupted by my voice. And if you like the video, make sure you go ahead and click that like button. Thanks for watching, guys.
3 long over bumps. 40. Caution, right 4 over crest, stay right and line, into right 4 over crest, jump maybe, don't cut, 80, care, left 6 long over crest, and left 3 half long, opens past junction, 250 line through dip, right 4 long over crest, 130, crest jump maybe, 40, care right 6, long over crest, bump, into left 6, 200, left 5, long over crest, jump maybe, keep in, 150, care right 4 over crest, jump maybe, past junction, don't cut, 100, left 5 long over 2 small crest, 80, long crest, right 3 half long, caution middle over big jump, right 6 crest, 40, left 4 half long, over crest, don't cut, 80, right 5 over crest, jump maybe, don't cut, 60, caution line over jump, 120, right 4 long, opens over bump, and tightens, 40, left 4 long, opens into turn square left long, don't cut, 60, Right 6 past junction, crest, 80 through dip. Left 5 over crest, 100. Right 6. And care, middle over crest jump. And bump, 60. Care, keep right over crest jump, 40. Left 5 long, keep in. Opens over crest, 100. Right 4 long, past junction. 60 over small crest. Care, left 6 through dip and continues over crest jump, 40. Right 5 half long, 80. Middle over crest, 150 through dip. Middle over crest jump, 200. Right 4, half long, over crest jump maybe. 100. Left 6 long, 200 through dip to finish.
Alright guys, that's my time, and remember, if you did like the video, click the like button and share it with your friends. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing for more videos to come. And if you have time for another video, check out the one right here. As always guys, thanks for watching, and until next time.